I had a drug problem, for a long time. It wasn't just in music, but I definitely was going through a drug problem, and I think it was more my state of mind. I was just pretty depressed.
Mac Miller was born as Malcolm James McCormick on January 19, 1992 in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. His mother was of Jewish descent while his father was a Christian. They both were esteemed and rich artists. His father was an architect and his mother was a photographer. Mac Miller grew up with rich parents who were not home most of the time, so his elder brother had to take care of him. Mac attended the prestigious Winchester Thurston School and later went on to finish Taylor Alderdice High School. Mac Miller was interested in music from a very young age. He was only 6 when he started to play the guitar, and from then on he became a self-taught multi-instrumentalist. He went through various musical genres in his early career. At first, he wanted to be a singer. Later, when he was 14, he was introduced to hip-hop and then started rapping and decided to dedicate the rest of his life to it. Everything after this decision is the reason why we all remember him today. He was just 14 years old when he released a mixtape called But My Mackin' Ain't Easy. He was then part of the group called The Ill-Spoken with another Pittsburgh-based rapper, Betty. Back then, he was called Easy Mac. In 2009, Mac Miller competed in the MC Rhyme Calisthenics at Shadow Lounge, where he was featured among the final 4 competing artists. His official career began in 2010 when he signed a deal with the independent label Rostrum Records. A new mixtape called KIDS, which stands for Kickin' Incredibly Dope Shit, was released the same year. The first significant breakthrough of his career was with the Incredibly Dope Tour, which was a great success. His first album, Blue Slide Park, rose to the #1 position on the Billboard 200 chart in 2011. After this initial debut success, he became a national celebrity practically overnight. He then followed with his second album, Watching Movies with the Sound Off, which was released in June 2013 and was both critically acclaimed and received mixed reviews from fans and music critics like Anthony Fantano, who gave it 6/10, mainly because it's a super personal album.
I like this album, but I didn't love it. I mean, there are tracks on here that I really enjoyed, but some of his raps do get old for me, get a little stale, and hearing him sing, while it's not terrible, it just really does nothing for me. Plus, you have a handful of tracks on here where Mac Miller is sort of pitch shifting his voice for what reason, I don't really know why. There are a few spots where he does it to bring it to a lower pitch and sort of create this adult-like figure in the way that Tyler, the Creator, would. I'm feeling a strong 6 to a light 7 on this thing.
In 2014, after settling down all of his obligations to the deal with Rostrum Records, Mac Miller launched his own record label, Remember Music, in cooperation with Warner Bros. Studio, named after one of his friends who had died. In September 2015, he released an album called Good AM. In July of 2016, he announced a new record album called The Divine Feminine, which was released later that year. And in 2018, he will then release what's arguably the biggest album of his career, and unfortunately, his last album as well, as he passed a month after the album was released.
At one point, weed didn't relax me from everything. It made me more paranoid about all the shit happening, right? So like, I needed to get a drug that was a little more numbing, if you will, and less like in your head. So yeah, I think that's really what sparked me doing other drugs, is because I hate being sober. I wanted a drug to do.
Nah, this is too much though.
This is perfect. It's much. I'd rather be the corny white rapper than the drugged out mess who can't even get out of his house. Overdosing is just not cool. There's no legendary romance. You don't go down in history because you overdosed. You just die.
During the time all this success was coming in, Mac was battling addiction problems, which he never kept away from his music or interviews. Mac Miller had been open about his history with drug abuse and depression long before his death. Like many musicians, the rapper's music often served as a diary of his inner demons. His songs and albums channeled his battle with depression and drug abuse, and he wasn't afraid to admit that personal experiences inspired some of his darkest lyrics. In September of 2015, Miller told Larry King in an interview that his depression and drug use were intertwined. Later that month, his song Brand Name dropped, in which he rapped, "To everyone who sells me drugs, don't mix it with that bullshit. I'm hoping not to join the 27 Club." For those who don't know, the 27 Club is an infamous list of musicians, artists, and actors who died at age 27, including Brian Jones, Jimi Hendrix, Janis Joplin, Jim Morrison, Kurt Cobain, Amy Winehouse, and Robert Johnson. Fast forward to the February 2016 documentary for Fader, Mac Miller again discussed overdosing but admitted that he hates being sober. However, what a lot of people don't know is that Mac Miller didn't end up in this lifestyle by chance. He started smoking cigars at the age of 8 and weed at age 10. By the time he reached high school, he already developed a tolerance to both drugs, and neither weed nor alcohol was enough for him anymore. This then opens the gateway to hard drugs like coke, meth, and lean.
The first time you did weed, did you get robbed?
Yeah, I did get. How'd you know that? Okay. Yeah, I did, man. It was a fucked up situation. I was in 5th grade, you know, and I was getting high, fucking thought I was James Bond and shit, and started running around the basement. And then the kid that I was getting high with, his older brother came down and was like, "How old are you?" And I was like 10, but I'm gonna be 11 in a month. And that wasn't enough for him. And so he put me in the chokehold real quick and took my weed. And then I was out, you know. That was the last time I smoked with that dude.
During the time he was battling drug addiction, Mac Miller was in a relationship with Ariana Grande. It was later revealed and alleged that Ariana broke up with him after 2 years due to his severe addiction problems and unwillingness to go to rehab.
Life is stressful. Do you know what I mean? So of course there were stressful times. Look, it's not that unique, you know. Like I was in love with somebody. We were together for 2 years. We worked through good times, bad times, stress, and everything else. And then it came to an end, and we both moved on.
Before the breakup in July of 2018, things seemed to be going pretty well for Mac Miller as he was getting ready to drop his latest album, Swimming. However, the breakup broke Mac even more, which resulted in further substance abuse. Just weeks after the couple went public with their split, he was arrested on a charge of DUI after driving his car into a power pole in the San Fernando Valley. He and his 2 passengers fled the scene on foot, and he was arrested at his home an hour later. Mac Miller was charged with 2 counts of DUI for the incident.
Dude, the DUI thing, a lot of people hit my phone and they were like, yeah, I made a stupid mistake. I'm a human being. Like, drove home drunk, but it was the best thing that could have happened. Best thing that could have happened. I needed that. I needed to run into that light pole and literally like have the whole thing stop.
After the release of Swimming in August of 2018, Mac Miller said on an interview with Zane Lowe that he was feeling his best in years and finally had control over his addiction. However, just 1 month later, on September 8th, 2018, something unexpected happened that shook the rap industry.
Hi, David. We arrived to a heavy media and police presence here outside of the Studio City home of rapper Mac Miller. And authorities confirm here a death investigation is underway. Air 7 was over the scene when we saw what we believe to be Miller's body being transported into a coroner's van. We've seen investigators walking in and out of the home, and Variety, among other outlets, is reporting Miller, whose real name is Malcolm James McCormick, age 26, died of an apparent overdose.
At exactly 11:07 p.m. on September 4th, 2018, Mac Miller texted his dealer Cameron Pettit in an attempt to purchase various drugs. Unbeknown to him, these messages would lead to his death. Mac Miller: "Yo, Cameron Pettit. Yo, what's up? Did you hear back about Adderall? No, couldn't find any. All good. You don't have lean too, do you? Perks? I got some 2 milligrams of Dilaudid, but that's about it. I could get some yellows and blues though. Blues as in perk. Yeah, 30 milligrams. Those are my favorite, man. When can you get them? Probably in an hour or 2. They are $30 each. Any chance I could get 10 of those, 10 bars and a ball? Yeah, for sure. I will get back to you when I'm about to pick them up. For sure. Could you actually drop them off at the studio? Yeah, where at? I'm at Conway. Let me send you the address. 655 North St. Andrews Place. Okay, is that far from you? Not too far. I can make it. Okay, word. Let me know when you are on the way. Okay, I will. What time are you thinking? Probably 1 a.m. That's for the blues too? Could you come through with the other stuff earlier? Yeah, that's for all of it. I'm going to pick them up right now. Actually, I can wait. Beautiful. Okay, sweet. These text messages show Cameron Pettit agreeing to provide Mac Miller with 10 oxycodone pills, 10 Xanax pills, and some cocaine. The transaction was scheduled to take place at around 1 a.m. on September 5th, 2018, at the Conway Recording Studios located at 655 North St. Andrews Place. At 12:56 a.m., just 4 minutes before the scheduled exchange, Mac Miller would once again send a message to Cameron Pettit saying, "Yo, yo." 8 minutes later, at 1:04 a.m., Mac Miller would send Cameron Pettit another text message asking, "Where you at?" Mac Miller would then follow up with a third text message containing a single question mark. After waiting around for another 8 minutes and still no reply from Cameron, Mac Miller texted Mia Johansson, the woman who introduced Mac to Cameron. Mac Miller: "Cam is supposed to be pulling up, but he's not answering." Mia Johansson: "I don't know, hun. Is there anybody else with the stuff? I can send some with a girl. I need a few things. I have everything. Snow bars and blue perks? I have it all. Do you have lean too?" "No lean, but I have Adderall and Oxy." "Perks?" "I have Norco." "What milligrams are the Oxy and Norco?" "The Oxys are 30 milligrams and the Norco is 10 milligrams. So the Oxys are little?" "Yes, it's a little blue pill. Can I get 5 of those, 5 bars and a gram of snow?" "Yes. The 30 milligram Oxy is $30 each. The bars are $5 each. The 10 milligram Norco is $10 each, and I'll give you the gram for free if you book a girl." "What about 2 grams? "Deal. What girls are available?" "Carla is ready. So what will my total be?" "Send me a picture of the Oxy too." "How long would all this take to arrive?" 30 minutes. "I'm at 655 St. Andrews. With the girl? What's the total of everything else?" 1,025s. "Send through. South or North St. Andrews?" "North." "Carla is 31 minutes away." These text messages between the two show Mia Johansson agreeing to provide Mac Miller with 5 oxycodone pills, 5 Xanax bars, 10 Adderall pills, 5 hydrocodone pills, and 2 grams of cocaine. The total of all of this would amount to $1,025 and was going to be delivered to Mac Miller by a woman named Carla Amador, an adult worker who also goes under the name Carolina Cortez in the adult entertainment industry. 15 minutes after Mac Miller finished talking to Mia Johansson, Cameron Pettit texted Mac Miller saying, "Sorry, I got sidetracked. Coming now." Mac Miller quickly replied saying, "For sure." Then at 2:25 a.m., Cameron Pettit arrived at Conway Recording Studios and allegedly gave Mac Miller the substances discussed in their earlier text messages. Shortly after, Carla Amador would also allegedly arrive at Conway Recording Studios with the substances Mac Miller inquired about in his text messages with Mia Johansson. Moments later, Mia Johansson would text Mac Miller asking what payment method he was going to use to pay for her products and services. "How are you going to send the money? Cash App or Venmo? Are you going to send it tonight or tomorrow?" "I'll handle it tomorrow." "Okay. Do you want to extend your time with Carla for an hour?" "Yes, please." "Okay, cool. We will just handle the money tomorrow." Mac Miller and Carla Amador would then proceed to spend the rest of the night together. The next morning, Mia Johansson would once again text Mac Miller further, explaining the new cost for Carla Amador's services, as well as clarifying the prices for the substances provided. Mac Miller would respond shortly after explaining that he only meant to have Carla Amador's services for an extra hour, but got sidetracked. 2 days later, on September 7th, 2018, Mac Miller's personal assistant, Sam Motorvassel, doing his daily checkup on Mac Miller at his San Fernando Valley, California home, only to find Mac Miller unresponsive in a praying position on his bed at around 11:30 a.m. that morning. Sam Motorvassel would then quickly begin to call 911, who ultimately instructed Sam to move Mac Miller's body to the floor and perform CPR. Mac Miller was sadly pronounced dead 16 minutes after that call.
"What is the emergency? How can we help you?"
Sorry.
Are you there with him now? When's the last time you saw him or talked to him?
Yesterday, please.
Okay. Stay with me on the line, okay? We're already on the way there now. I'm going to give you instructions. Can you wake him up? I'm going to give you instructions. Stay with me on the line, okay? You found him on the bed, on the floor? Okay, listen so I can help you. The only way we're going to help your friend is if you follow my... Hello, sir? Hello?
Immediately after Mac Miller's sudden death, detectives began investigating the crime scene, where they ended up finding a plastic bag in a coat pocket in Mac Miller's bathroom. Inside the plastic bag were all but 5 of the pills he purchased from both Cameron Pettit and Mia Johansson. These pills would soon be brought in for testing, where it would be revealed that all of the substances provided by Mia Johansson and Carla Amador were real and authentic, while Cameron Pettit's oxycodone would test positive for fentanyl, a powerful synthetic opioid that is 50 times more potent than heroin. Out of the 5 pills Mac Miller consumed, 4 were the counterfeit oxycodone pills that Cameron Pettit allegedly supplied. This would later be confirmed after post-mortem toxicology results would show that Mac Miller died from mixed drug toxicity involving fentanyl, cocaine, and ethanol. The news about Mac Miller's death would soon begin to spread all over the internet, with multiple media outlets reporting the story. Shortly after the news broke, Cameron Pettit would begin to direct message an individual the police nicknamed PR on Instagram. "Hi, you good? I am not great. Talk to me. Most likely I will die in jail. I've been worried about you all day. Don't say that. Yeah, dang it. What do you mean? You're just paranoid. Nothing has happened yet, but it might, and I'm nervous. Yeah, don't think negatively. Okay, try not to stress. I feel like it's going to be okay. It's not your fault. I'm gonna get off the grid, move to another country. What should my name be? Are you really? Like, do you honestly think it's that serious? Your name should be Sweet Baby Dang Daddy. Let's move to Stockholm. Yes, okay, maybe. I don't know yet. I will probably know tomorrow. Can you please keep me posted? I'm worried about you. Yeah." Cameron Pettit then followed up with another individual on Instagram, nicknamed AG, asking whether or not he should post a text conversation he had with Mac Miller on his Instagram account. Cameron Pettit would end up answering that question himself by stating, "I think I should probably not post anything just to be smart." Over the next year, detectives would continue to investigate the death of Mac Miller and would begin to assume that Cameron Pettit purchased the counterfeit oxycodone pills that Mac Miller consumed from Stephen Walter, a 46-year-old man from Westwood who has had previous run-ins with the law that resulted in convictions for charges such as possession with intent to distribute methamphetamine, possession of cocaine base for sale, and unlawful possession of a firearm by a felon. The pills would then allegedly be delivered to Cameron Pettit by a 36-year-old man named Ryan Rivas, a man who authorities claim was a resident of West Los Angeles, California, but quickly relocated to Lake Havasu, Arizona, following the death of Mac Miller. It was also revealed that 1 month after the death of Mac Miller, Cameron Pettit requested to purchase more oxycodone pills from Stephen Walter, which Walter would agree to provide. In addition to that, it was also alleged that Ryan Rivas was involved in more drug trafficking activities in June. These claims are backed up by a text message sent by Ryan Rivas to an unknown individual while negotiating a drug deal. The text message states, "People have been dying from fake blues left and right. You better believe law enforcement is using informants and undercover police officers to buy them on the street so they can start putting people in prison for life for selling fake pills." This would allegedly indicate that all 3 of these individuals continued to sell a dangerous substance even after the death of Mac Miller, while also being fully aware of the risks their products could bring to potential customers. Then on September 4th, 2019, exactly 1 year after the night he agreed to supply Mac Miller with oxycodone, Cameron Pettit was arrested on federal charges regarding the distribution of narcotics. 19 days later, Stephen Walter was arrested on similar charges alleging the conspiracy to distribute narcotics. 3 days after Stephen Walter's arrest, the DEA raided Ryan Rivas's home in Lake Havasu, Arizona, where they uncovered prescription pills, guns, and ammunition. Ryan Rivas would also be brought into custody with similar charges shortly after. Cameron Pettit, Stephen Walter, and Ryan Rivas were in court for trial on November 16, 2021. Stephen Walter was sentenced to 17 years in prison. Walter, who was 49, had pleaded guilty to the federal criminal charge of distribution of fentanyl, which carries a mandatory minimum sentence of 20 years in federal prison. However, because he pleaded guilty, the federal prosecutors pardoned him and reduced the sentence to 17 years. Rivas was also sentenced to more than 10 years in prison. However, the case against Cameron Pettit, who pleaded not guilty in Los Angeles federal court, was still pending as of April 2022.
Hi. Okay, so one of the men convicted in the 2018 death of rapper Mac Miller is set to be sentenced later on today. 39-year-old Ryan Reeves pleaded guilty last year to distributing fentanyl, and Miller died of an overdose at his San Fernando Valley home. The coroner did find fentanyl, also cocaine and alcohol in his system. Prosecutors claim that he and 2 other men gave Miller the drugs just 2 days before his death.
He'd come off that stage and he'd be exhausted, and that he would be joyful. But he lived a hell of a life. The 26 years he was with us. He made our lives so different. I'm going to end with something you're probably not going to want to hear. So they finally caught the that sold him the drugs.